Hello there, boys and girls. This will be what is actually the second podcast.
Second,
Number
two, or
That's
as they,
how we do it here. Because
or as they say,
incredibly in
dos.
sync. And who are you, by the way?
Wait, hold on. They say dos in Espanol, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay.
This is what you'd understand is I'm Steve Weisgal, and that over there
What
is.
you don't understand is I'm Mark Blanchard.
Now we understand that.
Yeah, so we're ahead of the game.
We are way ahead of the game.
See, we are both very much New York football, Jets, Jets.
Lot of hurry up and waiting going on right now in
So
Jets
it reminds
land.
me of Hollywood. I've been out here for 40 years, and every time you're working, they're screaming and yelling and go, let's do it, let's fire. Yeah, come on. Okay, wait. Okay, hold on, wait. So anything that I've directed, I've always said to my crew right off the bat, there's no hurry up and waiting here. And they're like, oh, what is that? I said, we don't do that.
Well, you may not do that, but
I don't do that. But Hollywood does it.
The rest of Hollywood
does do it
right now.
Who does it?
New York Jets are doing it.
Oh my God, it's embarrassing.
Karen.
Embarrassing.
Dude, it's so embarrassing.
I'm finishing my blueberry oatmeal.
Eat your blueberry. While you're eating blueberry yogurt, let me catch those of you who don't realize the level of embarrassment here.
Okay, give it to me because I'm out here in La La Land. You're back east, so you have the pulse. So give me the pulse.
Listen, you got a faction of people willing to sell everything out, push all the chips in for Karen, all right? And they think that this guy's going to be around for 2 years. He's not. We're not going to win the Super Bowl next year with this team.
I have to argue with you there. I think we will.
No, we won't.
Yeah, I will. I
no.
think, and I'm blowing my nose.
Go blow your nose. Fact is, pushing all the chips in with Karen. It's a bad bet.
And Karen, for those of you unfamiliar with it, is our nickname as Jet Steve has come up with. And Jet Steve, obviously, show yourself, Jet Steve, one more time.
Yeah, well, I've been showing myself
as a Jet Steve for many moons. So
let me tell you, dude.
I understand what you're saying, but this team is ready to go. We said this the other day. This team is ready to go. What do we need? The problem I'm having, and I know you're having worse than me, we're ready to go.
Well, we're not ready to go. Do you know what he did?
Why?
Do you know what's going on today? Do you know what's going on today?
I got up, I looked at some things. It annoyed me. I turned it off.
Well, here's the annoyance.
Oh, I just flipped it. Somehow you're up there and I'm down here now.
Yeah, well, listen, you're not equipped to do such things. Don't hurt yourself.
Well, so I don't want to touch anything else to change it, but we got to look on
he, when I say he, I mean Karen, has now assumed GM duties for the New York Jets because GM Karen is now wants us to sign Alan Lazard, who played with him last year.
Okay.
And Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb, he's still playing?
Who played with him last year.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's who he's pushing for us to sign. We are now this close to signing Alan Lazard. Now here's a funny one. We're the only team in on him.
So wait a second. If we sign Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb, but don't sign Karen Rodgers, what do we do?
What do we do? We look like the complete asses that Woody.
I thought about it. My wife last night told me about how she's having trouble. She hasn't had sleep in 3 nights. I said, that's terrible. I have to, of course, say all the right things to be able to answer that, because if I say, well, I feel bad for you, that's not what I'm asking for. Right? Whatever, you understand. Well, you're out of that. But
there's no right answer, by the way.
Yeah, there's no right answer. But I love my wife, so I give it the best shot. But the bottom line is, she doesn't know what it's like to be a Jet fan. You think you don't get sleep because a couple things are going wrong with us, right? Not us, but in the household or something right now. Yeah, I mean, okay, I feel terrible for you, but you're not a Jet fan like us. We don't sleep for decades.
Let me tell you something.
Decades.
You know, you think that in the course of life, you make mistakes, you learn from them, you become a better person, you become a wiser person. Apparently, that doesn't happen with this. We become dumber.
Jets.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm cuckoo.
Exactly. That's
No,
like
I mean,
years on a couch.
Listen, we had this with the team in Queens who doesn't play in the same stadium I remember, but they say they play in City Field, which by the way is one of the best fields in all.
Great field.
We
The food, by the way, the food in
unbelievable.
City Field.
Unbelievable. Sometimes I fly from LA and I go to City Field just to eat, and then I come back.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't?
I mean, come on. This is
the food.
But the problem was for years, owners. The problem were our owners for years. And we're flipping switch here for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the coupons?
The coupons
Yeah.
are doing what I see. Apparently now Rodgers thinks, not Rodgers, Woody thinks he can hold up Green Bay and get more and
Woody does. Listen, let me tell you something.
Woody shouldn't be involved.
For those of you who don't know,
be involved. Uncle Steve, my point was, Uncle Steve takes over, and what happens?
Yeah, but Uncle Steve is smart.
That's true.
Uncle Steve is worth $16 billion.
I think more.
Not including the Mets. Woody is worth $6 billion. You take the Jets out, he's worth 1.9.
Yeah, there's a little difference, and he doesn't have money to throw away like him, but he's willing to. So it's still billions. It's still billions. But here's the thing.
Uncle Steve, do you trust Uncle Steve?
It's not the coupons that were wiped out.
But do you trust Uncle Steve?
Say it again.
Do you trust Uncle Steve?
I think he's blood. I think he's my Jewish uncle.
Do you trust Woody? Do you trust Woody Johnson?
I don't think he's my Protestant uncle.
Oh. Can I just tell you something? If this guy really wanted to be a Jet and wasn't about the circus, which he loves, by the way, this would have been done 3 days ago.
So what's our call? We have to make a call. We got to show, and what you don't understand is we got to show these people out there that we have a call that we stick to. What's our call?
Here's my call. Karen eventually comes. Right?
Okay.
We don't win the Super Bowl. He retires, and this leaves this team in ruin.
But we still have Randall Cobb and Lazard?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, then that's something. Right?
Come on.
What do you understand is we are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to shake it. All signs point to yes. There it is. They point to yes. We saw it in the crystal ball. The New York Football Jets with Aaron Rodgers this season will win the Football Hall of Fame game, the Super Bowl.
Well, actually, there is a Hall of Fame game, which we are playing in.
I know.
Doesn't count for squat.
Oh, it doesn't?
I will say this.
That's what I was kind of throwing that. I knew we were playing there. So.
Yeah, it hit the wall over here and just kind of slid down.
All right. Well, I have a window behind me, so you can't.
I see that. So you don't want to throw anything there.
No.
I will say this, because Karen's coming. If the Jets,
I woke up nervous about that. I woke up earlier. I looked at some things and I pulled back. I was nervous. This guy may still walk.
Yeah, well, listen, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So
at least,
if I was going to bet, listen, I got 2 bets going here. I bet that Karen is coming.
Okay.
I bet we don't win the Super Bowl. But taking those out of the equation, if Karen leads this team to the Super Bowl,
all right, I'm listening.
Right? Then all is right with the world. Am I correct?
That's then the problem with the world. All this stuff that's going on. all the cuckoo heads that don't like each other, the left, the right, the LGBTQIA plus, that everybody's going berserk. It's all because of the disruptance in the Jets. If the Jets, Jets, Jets win the Super Bowl, it all comes back. Everyone understands. You love her, she loves him. One person is 1, 2 is 3, whatever. But it's all fixed.
Didn't the Beatles say that? 1 and 1 and
I think, and 1 is 3. Yeah, something like that. The Beatles. Oh, man.
Something like that.
And the Beatles. And let me tell you something. I'm going to call it right here. John Lennon's legacy even grows when the Jets. I mean, John Lennon came and he lived in New York because he loved New York, and he was a Jet fan. I think.
No, that's a little known fact.
No, not a lot of people know that. I know for sure he was a Jet fan and all. So that's what, that's been the problem. That you can basically run the course of the entire world population's issues on the way the Jets have been run.
No wonder we're in it.
Think about how good it was.
No wonder we're circling the toilet.
The last time we won, we danced around on the moon. We solved all kinds of.
You do realize that this guy thinks
Henry Kissinger was Secretary of State, getting a Nobel Peace Prize for doing things and everything. Okay.
You realize Karen thinks we didn't land on the moon.
Oh, he believes in a flat Earth, so we walked over and stepped on it, or
no, he it's basically was Studio B is where the moon landing was.
Oh, okay.
Didn't happen. Yeah,
I'm not sure he really believes that, does he?
Well, that's what him and the lizard people talk about on the weekends when he goes to the center of the earth to discuss.
Oh, when he goes dark.
When he goes dark.
So he believes.
But here's the thing, dude.
He believes in the lizard people, which, according to all theory, if they exist, they're actually aliens that have come down and lived under our thing because that's their environment and they needed it. So you'd have to go with that idea then. So there are lizard people. There are also space travel. We probably made it to the moon. I mean, that would be the deduction. I'm not saying that's how I go with it, but
nah, listen. At the end of the day, no matter what direction you go, Karen has come in this direction. What we haven't seen yet, as of 1:47 Eastern Standard Time,
okay, is
the structure of this trade,
which is bothering me. What if they back off? I mean, this
let me tell you something, dude. I think that the Jets are so deep in the pool right now that they can't back out.
So Green Bay kind of knows that then. So
it's a funny situation. It's a funny situation.
You think Green Bay is holding us by the little?
Oh well, it's
little cojones.
Listen. Green Bay's on the hook for almost $60 million if they don't make this trade.
So we got them on the hook.
Right, they're on the hook. Meanwhile, the Jets.
So there's two hooks.
And Jets have painted themselves into the corner because they let all these other QBs who they were considering go away. So now it's either Rodgers or pretty much bust because Woody's not going to pay guaranteed money to Lamar. And that's it. Then so
I don't think anybody's paying that kind of guaranteed money. And the problem with that right there is, listen, I'm on the fence. The players deserve what the players can get, and you go and you ask for it.
Correct.
But the owners deserve to pay what they feel is right too. They're the owners, and somewhere in the middle, you got to go. It looks to me like in that particular thing, Lamar, because he doesn't have an agent, I'm getting a fully guaranteed contract. Blah, 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 blah. And he's going, no, you're not. No, you're not. And there's no negotiation.
No, yeah.
So I don't know.
I think he's doing himself a disservice by not having an agent.
I agree.
As the amount of disservice he's doing to himself pales in comparison to the disservice that Woody is doing to this friggin' team, dude.
You know it. This is the pain that we have to explore and live with and embrace and embellish.
Well, I don't want to. You can embrace it. I'm not embracing it.
Oh,
I'm pushing back.
Oh, that's not a Jet fan.
No.
Your Jet hood.
Jet. Let me tell you something. I'm still talking about the Jets. So
okay,
that either makes me mentally unstable, a Jets fan, or both. It's probably both.
Well,
So
we're certainly mentally unstable, being Jet, Met, and by the way, Knick fans who had a
yeah.
great win out here against those flophouse Lakers. Yeah,
Oh,
a great win.
but
And
anyway, I'm just waiting to see
I'll tell
what
you
this
what,
trade looks
and
like.
we'll get into the Knicks one of these days soon. That
Soon.
trade for Brunson, because when you see
Oh,
how much trouble we're having without him, even though we are winning some because we are a good team, he's the catalyst, man. And he got
he's real
ripped
good,
off.
dude.
He should have been an all-star, all-pro, all-basketball player, whatever they call him in the NBA.
Yep.
All-star. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
So
should have been an all-star, but
he's our all-star.
that was a great. The Knicks have made some questionable moves. That is not one.
Picking up Hart, not one.
No, that is not one.
Yeah, great call.
But so in that respect, you think every dog has its day. The broken clock is right twice a day. I'm still waiting for the Jets to be right once a day, not even twice, just once.
Okay, we have a couple once. I'll give them to you. Joe Douglas. That was a good call. Whoever made that call, Joe Douglas has done as good a job in his short term as I've ever seen, and he's only blown it, I'm going to say, on one guy. And I'm not saying Zach Wilson has blown it.
He blew it on Zach Wilson.
I know. I'm not saying that. I see talent everywhere, oozing out of his toes and his fingers. I don't see much oozing from here other than ooze. But
that's the problem.
But maybe
what good is ooze if it's not in here?
Yes, but if he's playing in fear, if he just doesn't get it yet, it's this thing. You can't use this yet. So when Nathaniel Hackett whispers in his ear,
yeah, you know what he's going to say to him?
When Sir Rodgers,
get Aaron some coffee.
Yeah, he's going to say that, and when he realizes that's what he is, he's Aaron's coffee boy.
Yeah,
he's going to start to wake up and maybe learn from Aaron. So
that what he'll do is
when Aaron retires, in 2 years when Aaron retires, Zach takes over the helm like Aaron Rodgers did for Brett Favre, who, by the way, we also had. And if you think about it, what a great move that was until he got hurt. We were 8-3, looking like the best team in the NFL.
Well, I'm not disagreeing, but you got to look at the trade for Favre in that era was super smart because it was stair-stepped, right? And the Jets only had to start off giving a 4. And as Favre gets better, it could have gone 3, 2, 1. When Favre got hurt, it locked in. We gave up a 3. That's it. But this trade, which we haven't seen, and I've heard all kinds of nonsense, first round pick, second future round pick, players, all this nonsense. We don't know what that is yet, right?
Bad.
The longer this takes, the more I'm starting to think because I don't like this already. I'm going to like it even less. But we won't know officially until at this rate could be next week, for crying out loud. I don't know.
Aaron might go out to dinner tonight and decide at dinner that he needs a 2-day reprieve in the Alaskan wilderness in the snow.
Let me tell you something.
I heard rumors. I don't know how true these are, but I heard that he may go igloo. That
he may go into an igloo?
Yes. He may go igloo. He calls it igloo. He just says go igloo. And
I would say this. If he goes into the igloo, I'm going to seal him up in the igloo and leave him there. And then we can finally go get a quarterback and move on with our season.
That's true. And it doesn't, but the thing is, it thaws out in the spring.
So
just
what?
Before the OTAs, maybe he thinks he's a Jet at that point from his igloo time, and away we go. Rodgers is back.
Listen, Rodgers has to get here first before Rodgers can be back. So he hasn't even got here yet. He's going to get here.
Okay.
I mean.
So if you're confident that he's going to get here, which I'm not, but you are confident. I'm confident that if he does get here, we're the best team in the NFL starting that minute.
Yeah.
Okay. The only team, and they're losing a lot of players that would have given me problems is Kansas City, because we would have the same type of explosive offense and everything, and with a quarterback that's in his prime. And I'd say overall so far, Rodgers is better than Mahomes as a whole, because he's had more time. He's done a lot of things.
Listen,
Okay.
guy's been in the league 18 years, one of the top quarterbacks, even with last year's crap.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's a better winner, because I think Mahomes might prove to be a better winner than.
He already is a better winner. How many Super Bowl wins does Mahomes quarterback?
Well, he's had 2 wins.
How many has Rodgers had?
Well, he hasn't finished this season, which is the Jets. He'll have 2 wins after this season. Oh, that doesn't count.
He's won. Right at this moment in time.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you the.
And by the way, it's going to be 40 during the season. Mahomes will be 27. So
you're saying he's more mature. He's like fine. He's like fine wine.
I'm just saying this. We are pushing the chips.
But our defense is much better than Kansas City's. I mean, light years better. So with that being said, you lose a little because Mahomes is in his prime. I'll give you that. He may be a world. He may be certainly a generational. He may be a centurion in how good he is at this point. I mean, he could be, but he's not Joe Willie, and that's what we got.
Listen. Nobody will ever be Joe Willie.
No. And what I saw yesterday, and you got to look this up because it was brilliant, was Joe Willie, a shot of him in bed, getting out of bed in the morning. He's bent over. He's the pain, my knees, blah, blah, blah. Selling. He's looking around the house now. So doorbell rings. There's a pretty girl at the door who's delivering his dry cleaning. He stands up tall, shines his face, looks good. Whole thing goes on. Comes back, the door shuts, goes back down, looks, and what is he looking for? Joe's pain cream, Broadway Joe's pain cream. And he finds it with hemp and all, and he's thinking he said, and he puts it on, and the redness goes away, and he feels good, and out to dinner he goes, and who do you think he has dinner with?
Susie Colbert.
That pretty girl that came to the door, that was the thing. Of course, he's having dinner with him, and Joe's all excited and everything. Joe Willie has said Rodgers is the man. He's willing, as we said the other day.
Joe Willie said Browning Nagel was the man.
He was good.
Okay? Listen, good. Love Joe. Yeah. Bleeds green. But let me tell you about another Joe.
Did he ever
Let me tell you about another Joe.
Did Browning Nagel ever play? Yeah, he played for like
he did.
6-8 games, something.
No, more than that. Browning Nagel was the guy we ended up with when Atlanta took Favre.
No, I remember the pain.
Yeah,
it hurt. I used some Broadway Joe cream in an early form.
Yeah, Joe Willie liked Browning.
Didn't have all the other liniments. It just had the
I love Joe, but here's the Joe that I trust right now. Joe, recent Hall of Famer Joe Klecko, recently deserved Hall of Famer Joe Klecko, long time, overly long wait. Hall of Famer Joe Klecko said.
Wait a second, did he go in yet?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Did he have the speech and everything?
Well, no, the speech is coming up at
That's
the game.
What I thought. Okay, you made it sound like
but he's in. He's in. That's when he gets the gold jacket. Marty Lyon's going to put the gold.
Oh,
Joe
man.
Joe Klecko said, Aaron Rodgers.
Going in too.
Joe Klecko said, Aaron Rodgers is a bad move for this team. That's Joe Klecko. And I trust Joe Klecko.
Well, the only thing I will say about that is Joe Klecko also said that Mark Gastineau was a bad move for the team.
Oh, he didn't like Gastineau.
He didn't like Gastineau, but Gastineau played his balls off.
I didn't listen. Okay, not liking somebody is different than saying he's going to destroy. He said the bad move, and I agree with Joe. It's a bad move, but it's the move is happening. Woody has pushed all the chips in. We're going all in,
wow.
And I don't see this all in winning a Super Bowl. And I see this all in decimating this team after the season ends.
So why we go all in? Why do the New York Football Jets?
Jets. Why did they go all in? WOODY. Woody,
footy, should he?
Yeah, well, he shouldn't, but he did.
He did. So
He
we're
did.
going. All right, I love it.
So
I love it.
I'm gonna keep an eye out.
Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up since
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna keep an eye out. Maybe I doubt it'll happen this afternoon, but once we understand what we give up, maybe one or two things will happen. Either I will feel a little less pain. I still won't be happy, but I'll feel a little less pain,
right.
or I'm going to feel a lot of pain.
Oh, I feel pain.
Well, you might feel a lot more pain.
Oh, I feel the pain.
You feel the pain.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I was going to try to do a fancy move with this, but I didn't.
No fancy moves.
Okay.
You got glass.
Okay. So here's my wrap up of this morning. We had to do this quicker this morning because we want to get to the Mets and we want to get to the Knicks and all that as well this week. But there was a news flash that basically was about as long as a Kodak camera from the 70s. Click, and that's it. And then we don't know what you're going to get because it wasn't a Polaroid where the delivery comes right out and you get to see it. So now
you know that everybody's Googling what the hell you're talking about.
Now pay attention. In a Polaroid, you take that picture and you don't have to wait. It comes out of a little tray. You hold it in your hands and presto, there you are, magic. The Kodak, which I loved, but it was, you had to wait. Go to the drugstore, drop it in. Long before Thrifty and Rite Aid and all that, yeah, you went to the neighborhood drugstore. They had their deal. You got your pictures. So what you're telling me is, and what I'm telling you, and what you don't understand is, when Aaron Rodgers comes, and you're saying he comes, that's a wrap up. We will have the news to pontificate over, and pontificate we will.
Indeed.
And that news will bring us to the new level, the new heights, the heights that I remember like a child, because unfortunately, I was a child. Well, fortunately, not unfortunately that I was a child, but I was a child at the time of this. Okay.
That is true.
And I have lived my life. My children aren't children anymore almost because of the fact that it's a Jet fan. Jets, Jets. So away we go to the Super Bowl. That's my call. Super Bowl. Jets. So what you just understood, Rodgers, yes. Woody Johnson, cuckoo. Joe Douglas, yes. Jets, yes. Super Bowl.
I need a drink.
Yeah, you sure do.
I'll see you when things happen.
All right, this week we'll see you.
Adios.
What you understand and what you don't understand is what you don't understand is, and this has been Jet Steve Wisegow and Mark Blanchard. Peace.
Adios.